So anyways, in the Philippines, for a bill to become a law, it has to pass 3 readings in Congress. When it passes those 3 readings, the president has like the power to veto it. He has the power to veto it, which means he rejects the bill into even becoming a law. He approves it, or he lets it lapse into law. What does lapse into law mean? Meaning, if he doesn't sign it in 30 days, it becomes a law by default. So anyways, we have the SIM Card Registration Act. So first, we must first understand, is there a need for such a bill? Like, do we even need this fucking law? Or even just by using your cell phone, like, you get a lot of random messages, right? Text scams? Have you ever, like, you have won 1 million pesos. Please text attorney so and there is a need to promote accountability in the use of the subscriber identity module or SIM card in social media, and provide law enforcement agencies the tools to resolve crimes which involve its utilization and the platform to deter the commission of wrongdoings. I know some of y'all have experienced being scammed online, be it like 5 pesos, 100 pesos, or sa mga Vtubers dyan, diba? You paid for a commission, then the artist ghosts you. Kapwa mo din naman yung Pinoy, but because you don't know his or her real identity, you can't really like chase them down now, can you? Like, even if you go to our friendly neighborhood NBI, it would take some time for them to track down this person, because one, he may have used a SIM card, a prepaid SIM card, a burner phone. Kasi in the Philippines, we do not have, unlike other countries, we do not have a one SIM card for one citizen rule. Most of the population have prepaid SIM cards. Yung mga medyo burgis, diba? Medyo, they have postpaid accounts. If you wanna prank someone, like harass them or whatever, you just go to your banketa, you buy a SIM card that's like worth 45 pesos, and you can harass any person. So this law aims to avoid that. The individual, subscriber, natural, or juridical. Public telecommunications. So, ito na, PLDT, Globe, Telecoms, PLDT, Globe, Dito, Converge, whatever. So, spoofing, transmitting, or misleading, or inaccurate information, or anything of value. Aren't you annoyed? No matter how many times you block these cards, they just come back because they can just fucking waste 45 pesos, right? And just scam you again. Oh, ito na. This is the controversial part for the VTubers. For fictitious identities to register SIM cards or social media accounts, the penalty of imprisonment of no less than 6 years or a fine of up to 200,000 pesos or both shall be imposed upon anyone who uses a fictitious identity to purchase and register a SIM card or social media account. What constitutes a social media account? What does that mean? Anywhere ba that you can use a profile picture? Anywhere you can chat? You can comment? It does not distinguish. Is VTubing a crime when the law is passed? So yes and no. What is the basis? Doon muna tayo sa yes. Yes, because it would be prohibited under no. So, for example, 'di ba sabihin natin na ngayon napasa ang bill, pero kahapon ka naging VTuber, kahapon ka gumawa ng social media account mo, ng Twitter mo, ng Twitch mo and everything. Mapepreso ka ba kasi gumawa ka ng VTuber mo kahapon? Hindi. Because under our 1987 Constitution, no ex post facto law or bill of attainder shall be enacted. No, because laws are not retroactive. Exactly. What does retroactive mean? Meaning, kung ngayon pinasa ang bill, dapat the day after, para magiging crime siya. Hindi pwede mag time travel yung police. Oy, ikaw naging VTuber ka kahapon. Kukulong ka na namin ngayon. So ang ex post facto, there is one exemption sa ex post facto law. The only time na retroactive or magta-time travel yung batas para apektuhan ka is when it favors the accused. Favorable ba na ikukulong ka kasi naging VTuber ka kahapon? Hindi. Syempre, hindi yung pwede, pre. O ito, yung example ko dito is si Katrina Halili and Hayden ko. Lumabas yung scandal niya 2009, di ba? Alam nyo ba, dapat magpasalamat kayo kay Hayden ko and Katrina Halili. Kung hindi, walang Anti-Photo and Voyeurism Act of 2010. O ayan, 2010. So, kailan ginawa ni Hayden ko? 2009. So, makukulong ba si Hayden ko for something that he did makukulong ba si Hayden ko after 2010 for something na ginawa niya sa 2009? Anong sagot? Syempre hindi. Kaya nga 'di ba si Hayden ko, ang the worst that they could do at the time was remove his license as a doctor. May consent ba ni Katrina Halili yung nangyari? Wala. Pero kailan napasa yung law? 2010. So, anong gagawin ni Katrina Halili? Iyak. Although it would be unfair to the part of the victim, it would also be unfair. Grabe, nag-time travel ka talaga para lang ikulong siya. Hindi naman tama yun, diba? Hierarchy of laws. So, always remember that the 1987 Constitution must be supreme than any other laws. Kaya nga siya constitution, 'di ba? It is the law of the land. So, una, ang iyong constitutional rights, any other laws, codes, republic acts, and ordinances. Ordinances must not contradict with laws, codes, republic acts. And the same, any other laws, codes, republic acts must not contravene with the 1987 Constitution. Nakalimutan ni Papa Diggs na dapat i-veto niya pala, dapat i-reject niya pala. So, nag-lapse into law. May pupunta ngayon sa bahay mo, hoy, ikaw si Lucy Chandayo, di ba? You're Lucy Chandayo. You are being, we would like to search your house for evidence that you have violated a crime. What is a search warrant? Search warrant, arrest warrant, kahit anong warrant na yan, made by a judge. No one else. Judge of a competent court. Why? Ano ang basis? Ang Constitution. Sa Constitution mismo na nakalagay na only judges can issue warrants. O legal basis, ito na. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses. Basta mahaba, yan na. Basta, yung juicy part lang dito is except upon probable cause to be determined personally by the judge after examination under oath or affirmation of the complainant and the witnesses he may produce and particularly describing the places to be searched and the persons or things to be seized, which may be seized under a search warrant. So, dito muna tayo. How would you know if a search warrant is valid? Constitutes a valid warrant, there must be probable cause. Ano ba yung probable cause na yan? So, probable cause refers to such facts and circumstances which would lead to a reasonably discreet and prudent man to believe. You are standing on the corner of the street and you see a person holding a gun and looking at a store, a jewelry store. When you see a person holding a gun and looking at the jewelry store, most probably he is going to rob the jewelry store or kill someone in it, or basta he will commit a crime. Must be issued after examination under oath or So hindi rin pwede na basta-basta lang mag-issue ng search warrant, right? Bago mag-buy bust, kailangan muna mag-submit ng police and ng fiscal ng evidence to prove na bakit kailangan mag-buy bust doon sa bahay na yun. May nakakita ba na drug dealer siya? Is there an indication that there is a criminal activity going on? The warrant must particularly describe the places to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. So the warrant cannot say, we are arresting Pulmonya and we will also search her house. Hindi naman pwede yung gano'n. Where is my house? where exactly in Manila do I live? Right? They have to fucking dox you before they can issue a warrant for you. So next. So, to check the validity of a search warrant, the warrant must be issued by a judge of a competent court who has signed the same. You have the right to ask, so before you get arrested or before you get searched, you have the right to ask for a copy of the warrant and read the same. Tama ba yung Tama ba yung pangalan mo? Full mo niya ba talaga ang pangalan mo? Yung judge, totoong judge ba yan? May signature ba? Kasi baka mamaya, pangalan lang ng judge. Walang signature. Kung pangalan lang, walang signature, you may refuse to be searched. Kasi, the warrant is defective. The officers may only take what is indicated in the warrant unless you waive your right for other items to be seized. So next, they may only take things in plain view. Dito lagi nahuhuli yung mga police. Yung shotgun, you know what a shotgun is, right? Or a fishing pole. A shotgun is like longer than your arm. It's about as long as your arm, right? If the police comes to your house, gives you a search warrant to search for a shotgun, tapos bubuksan nila yung drawer mo, na hindi naman kasya yung shotgun dun, hindi yun siya plain view. Ang plain view kasi meaning, yung nakikita lang ng mata mo. They cannot open things na hindi naman related. Kung shotgun na kasing haba ng kamay mo, hindi nila pwede buksan yung drawer mo na hindi naman kasya doon yung shotgun. Gets? Manadamay ba yung mga artista sa bill since they are using stage names? But they do not, ang problema kasi, the difference between an artista and a VTuber is that we purposely hide our identities. Ang celebrities, hindi eh. Understandable naman yung SIM card registration part. Kasi in other countries, tayo na lang yung Other countries, they just scan your fingerprint, they know your cell phone number, your SS, your GSIS, your passport numbers, your address. If you have any current charges, in the Philippines, we do not have that. Which is why criminals hide in the Philippines. Kasi we have a shit tracking system when it comes to our constituents. If it becomes a law, right? Like what Coral said, how do they verify social media accounts? Because your name is Fulmonia on Facebook. Pero when I get arrested, let's say I was duly served an arrest warrant, a search warrant, whatever, they seized my phone and whatever. Ang maganda kasi, when you are the defense lawyer of the accused, you only have to cast doubt. Kasi in the Philippines, you are innocent until proven guilty beyond reasonable doubt. Pag sinabing reasonable doubt, meaning walang pag-alinlangan. Ikaw talaga yung gumawa nun. Wala nang iba. Like the universe aligned, all of the planets aligned in the solar system, and ikaw yung gumawa nun. Now, if for example, you get arrested because you are Fulmonia, you know what your lawyer can do? You only have to ask, when was the account created? Was the account created before the law? Because if it is, then the arrest is illegal. Plus, where was the account created? Was it created in the Philippines? If in the Philippines, what part of the Philippines? Kasi, for example, gumawa ka ng account sa Manila. Tapos, hinuli ka sa Iloilo. Tapos ngayon, pinapasagot ka sa korte ng Iloilo. Ang sabi mo, hindi, pwede kong i-prove na ginawa ko yung account sa Manila. So meaning, doon pa lang, jurisdiction-wise, i-dismiss na ang kaso mo. Kasi sa Philippines, kung saan mo ginawa yung crime, dapat doon na din na korte ka ita-trial. So, kung sa Manila mo ginawa, tapos hinuli ka sa Iloilo, dapat dalhin ka nila sa Manila, hindi sa Iloilo. So, your lawyer can dismiss your case on the grounds of jurisdiction. So, for example, sinabi mo yung defense na yun, right? Oh, hindi, ginawa ko sa Manila, ganyan. Tapos, binaliktad ka ng prosecutor. Ah, hindi, bakit? Bakit? Pwede mo bang i-prove na sa Manila mo ginawa? Ang mali ni prosecutor is that it is the prosecution must not rely on the weakness of the defense. Okay? It is the prosecutor's job to prove beyond reasonable doubt. Ginawa ko nga yung account in Iloilo. So what is his only recourse? His only recourse is to subpoena Facebook to prove that I did create my account in Iloilo. Do you understand how ridiculous that would be if naging batas to? Do you understand? Like, isasubpoena mo ang Facebook? Alam ba nila kung saan ang office ng Facebook? Do you know how you subpoena a foreign entity? To validly subpoena a foreign entity, you have to go to the embassy. So, let's say, Facebook, di ba? Saan ang headquarters ng Facebook? California, in Los Angeles. So, California, that is the United States. So, you must go to the US Embassy located in the Philippines para si US isasubpoena. Depende pa kung i-accept nila. Depende pa kung i-accept nila na, oh, tangina, sino ba tong Philippines na to? Ba't ako inuutusan ng Philippines? America kami, men. Do you understand how ridiculous? Like a waste of taxpayer money, okay? Yun yung sagot sa question ni Coral. I hope that clears up her search warrant. Kapag search warrant, it is only valid 10 days from the date of signing. So sa Philippine laws, kung for example, yung warrant mo pinirmahan sa 15. So, count ka 10 days sa 26. Bakit sa 26 full mo niya? Marunong ka ba magbilang? Bakit 26? Kasi, you do not count the first day that it was signed. So, magbibilang ka. So, 15 si 9, magbibilang ka ng first day sa 16. Calendar days yan hindi banking days. The court, justice does not rest. Counted ang Saturday, Sunday, holiday. Remember, 10 days. So, kung for example, paano kapag nagbigay ng search warrant sa 27? Ops! Pigilan mo na yung police. Ops! Yung warrant nyo, expired na po, sir. Di nyo na ako pwede i-search. What if they insist on doing the search warrant if the warrant is defective? Well, they're lost. Kasi, if they've searched on a defective warrant, and then, kukuha ka ng lawyer sa PAW, or ipapakita mo sa abogado mo, easiest 50,000 of his life. Defective yung warrant Easiest money of your lawyer's life. Kaya, always tingnan. Dapat marunong kayong magbilang mga Vtuber. Dapat marunong kayong magbilang. 10 days only. Kapag search warrant, hindi arrest warrant Search warrant. Kasi ang arrest warrant, walang expiry. Yung search warrant, what if nahanap nila yung tao after ng 10 days na yun? Oo, ang arrest warrant walang expiry. Yung search lang, yung hahanapan ka lang ng ebidensya. Yun yung may expiry. So, sa warrant mo, dapat isang offense lang. Hindi yan kape na 3-in-1. Dapat sa warrant mo, full mo niya has violated the SIM Card Registration Act by dapat sasabihin niya anong batas, anong section. You have the right to check the inventory of the things seized. So, ang inventory actually is just a bond paper and with like a lot of lines. So, if for example, let's say na yung search warrant is valid, tingnan mo na lang kung tama ba yung mga kinukuha nila. Kasi kung for example, wants to only seize your cellphone, bakit nila kukunin yung computer mo? Diba? Cellphone lang naman nakalagay doon. Dapat specific. Your warrant cannot say, we will search Fulmonia's room. for evidence against her in violating the SIM card registration. Hindi pwede ganon. Dapat nakalagay cellphone, computer, hindi na kailangan kung anong model. Basta, pag nakita yun ng police, yun na yun. Cellphone, computer, camera, mousepad, mouse, ganun na yun. If there are blank spaces, kindly ask the officer to fill the same. This is to prevent adding of the evidence that was not seized from your possession. So, kung for example, valid yung search warrant, kinuha na yung cellphone mo, cellphone lang yung kinuha ha, tapos nakita mo sa warrant na may space pa. Pwede mong ipasulat sa officer na, ano ba to? Huwag mag-iwan ng space. Kasi hindi natin alam, di ba? Hindi naman kasi, not every police officer is a good police officer. Well, pag di niya sinunod yung request, may witness naman yan eh. Barangay, okay, ganito ha. Pag binigyan kayo ng search warrant, kailangan may witnesses. Okay? Hindi pwede na ikaw lang mag-isa. Kailangan may witness na media, someone from your barangay. Kung hindi sila available, you can ask your neighbor na mag-witness for you. Kasi kinukuha yung mga gamit mo, di ba? So, kailangan may witness. So, and next, ask for a copy of the receipt before signing the same. If there is anything that may be incriminating, contact your lawyer. So, for example, sa listahan, nakita mo, ito yung kinuha, cellphone. Tapos, nilagay niya sa warrant niya, cellphone na may child porn. Teka, bago mo i-sign, pwede mong ipa-edit sa police officer na, may cellphone ako pero wala namang child porn dyan, pre. Baka naman, pre. Pwede mong paalisin, 'di ba? Kung ayaw niya, mabuti yung may witness ka. Which is constitutional right mo ha. It is your constitutional right to have someone witness you being arrested or you being searched. Kailangan yan. Kung wala, call your friendly neighborhood lawyer. So, what if I actually got arrested? So, what if you are arrested? So, if you are being arrested, so remain calm. You have the right to remain silent. You have the right to request a copy of the arrest warrant. Check if your name is correct. Warrant. So, gusto ka nilang arestuhin kasi ang pangalan mo kay Future. One warrant, one offense. Hindi pwede, Kai Future is being arrested for violation of SIM card registration act, for anti-money laundering act, for anti-photo. Hindi. One warrant, one offense. Okay, hindi yan copy ko. You respectfully raise your objection to the officer. For example, full mon niya sa arrest warrant, pero kulang ng A. Kasi 'di ba, dalawa yung A. Full mon niya lang siya. Hindi siya full mon niya. So fucking dumb. sorry, naubusan na ako ng example. Sir, may I respectfully deny the arrest? Siyempre, respectfully deny. Hindi ka pwede manlaban kasi babarilin ka, pre. You have the right to call a friend, neighbor, relative, or lawyer to witness that you are being arrested. Okay? So, inaresto ka kasi tama yung spelling ng pulmonya. So, pwede kang mag-call a friend, call a neighbor kasi hindi pwede na mag-isa ka lang arestuhin. Ano to, martial law? Pre, nito martial law, pre. Ayaw nila maniwala na hindi tama yung spelling ng name mo, na hindi ikaw yung nasa arrest warrant. You have the right to ask for the name of your arresting officer, his official position, kung SPO1 ba siya, SPO2, kung saan yung office niya, and ano yung unit niya. Kasi nga, di ba, pag police officers, iba-iba naman yung assignment nila. You have the right to ask for that. And you even have the right to ask for an arrest, for a copy of the arrest warrant. Okay. If this bill is passed, just like the anti-terror bill, obviously, there will be petitions filed in the Supreme Court kasi any questions of law can be raised agad sa Supreme Court. Kasi ang usual hierarchy of cases, right, is sa barangay, if qualified ba sa barangay, then sa MTC, if less than 400,000 pesos,
then RTC, Regional Trial Court, tapos Court of Appeals, and then Supreme Court. Until when? Until when na lang nga ba? Kasi actually, December 21 pa tong bill na to. Walang namamansin because, real talk, as Filipinos, we don't really care about politics, okay? And in my opinion, it should change. We should care about politics. Kasi, it affects our daily lives. Like, tingnan nyo ngayon, di ba? Masaya lang naman tayong nag-VTube. Pero anong nangyayari? There is a danger na we'll be criminals. Di ba? What if you decided to be a VTuber after the law is passed? You cannot plead ignorance of the law kasi ignorance of the law is not an excuse. Plus, may bypass pa territoriality. Like, for example, let's take si Kaithu, he is not covered by this bill if it becomes a law, although Filipino siya kasi he does not live in the Philippines. Si Isay din, kasi hindi siya nasa Pilipinas, she is not covered by this law. Basta if they are not residing in the Philippines, they are not covered, they are not affected. If y'all are wondering, okay, why did I bring up election all of a sudden? Because we are nearing the 2022 elections, okay? And if you must know, these are the people that are responsible for the SIM Card Registration Act. I know because I voted for them in 2016, especially itong si Gatchalian. Kasi nung 2016, yung platform kasi ni Gatchalian and yung police officer was to register one SIM card, one person. Okay? One SIM card, one person. Pero I did not know at the time na mag-a-add sila ng problematic provision. Paano pag nanakaw yung CP mo at nandun yung SIM card, pwede ba sabihin sa snatcher na pakiiwan yung SIM? You don't have to. Kasi if your SIM card is stolen, nandito yun eh. You have 72 hours to report of such loss. In case of loss or any change in the information after the registration of the SIM card, the subscriber must update said registration. Tapos bawal na din yung mga nagbebenta sa bangketa. Yung mga nagbebenta, alam nyo naman yun, right? Yung mga nagbebenta sa bangketa ng mga SIM card. Maraming troll accounts actually. And I can attest that in election packages for campaigns, because I have drafted one myself, kasama ang trolls actually. Kasama ang troll farming, making memes, o sana all, 'di ba, making memes. Binabayaran sila to make memes. Okay, yun. So don't panic if you're a VTuber. Because this isn't a law yet. This is still a bill.